everyone, Ashley Josephine here. Today we have a cyber yoga practice in honor of Cyber Monday. Our practice today is going to work on wrists for relief from typing on the keyboard, hips for relief from sitting all day long at work, and shoulders from relief for hunching over all day long over a computer or any task that we do. So we are going to start in a position with our hands underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. This is typically called cat-cow pose. And we'll start by inhaling and bringing our chest up, arching the back, and pulling the belly button in. And then on your exhale, we'll round the back, drop our neck, and press the mid back up towards the ceiling, pressing down into the palms of the hands. On the inhale, arching the back, gazing up. This is called cow pose. And then on the exhale, rounding the back. This is called cat pose. You'll feel stretches here on the inhale along the front side of the body. And then on the exhale, when you move into cat pose, you should feel the stretch in the back. It's a nice way to warm up the spine. Just a few more here. And after your next cat pose, return to a neutral spine so that your hands are right underneath the shoulders and your hips are right over your knees. And we're going to work into some wrist stretches here. My favorite wrist stretch. You take your hands and you turn them so that your fingertips are pointing towards your knees. Now your hands are still right under your shoulders or your wrists. And from here, you'll slowly start to sit back, trying to keep the palms of your hands flat on the mat. And you'll feel a really nice stretch across the inside of your wrists here, and you'll only slide back as much as you can keep your palms on the mat. So when the wrists start to come off the mat, you'll pause there and just breathe. And as you breathe, you might find that you can start to slide back a little more. Stay for 5 to 10 breaths, however long you're comfortable. You'll keep your arms straight in this pose. And then when you're finished, on an exhale, come back up and turn your hands out. And then turn them out to the side so your fingers are pointing away from you towards the side. Wrists still right underneath the shoulders. And then you'll move from side to side, first going towards the left, and then inhale back to center and exhale towards the right. And again, you'll feel the stretch here on the inside of the wrist, pressing the palms firmly down into the mat and only moving over to the side as much as it's comfortable to you. Once the stretch becomes too much or you feel like you're going to fall over towards the side, pause there. And then on your inhale, come back to center. So do this 5 to 10 times as well. We'll go one more time to the other side. And then return to center. And then the last wrist stretch, you'll sit back on your ankles if that's comfortable for you. And I'll turn towards you so you can see. So we're going to stretch the other side of the wrist now. So you'll start by taking your right hand and pulling it out in front of you. And your palm will be facing down and your fingers will be facing down. Your arm is straight. Then you'll take the fingers of your left hand and you'll press the palm in towards you. And this time you'll feel the stretch on the top of your wrist and maybe even into the forearm. And you'll breathe through this maybe 5 to 10 times, keeping the arms straight. And on your exhale, seeing if you can add a little bit more pressure into the palm. And then at the end of your last exhale, you'll release and switch sides, taking the left hand, pointing the fingers down, the palm is towards you. The forefingers of the right hand will come across the palm of the left hand, and you'll gently push down, keeping the arms straight. The left arm will be straight. And remembering to breathe. Feeling a nice stretch across the top side of your wrist. Five to 10 breaths here. And then when you're finished, you'll release on your exhale, and we'll stand up here and move into some simple sun salutations. Your feet can be together or hip width apart if you have low back issues. I'll face you so you can see what we're doing. On your inhale, you'll bring your hands up overhead and then grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand and take a side bend over towards your left, pressing your hips out towards the right. You'll feel the stretch here along the obliques. Inhale back to center and then switch your hands, taking the right hand, grabbing the left wrist, and pressing the hips out towards your left, bending over towards the right. Inhale back to center, and exhale, fold forward, taking your hands out to the side. Once you fold all the way down, remember knees can be as bent as you need if you have tight hamstrings. Try and relax your head as much as you can. Take a few deep inhales and exhales here, feeling a nice relief in the low back. Then inhale, bring your hands, your palms to your shins, and find a straight, long back. Exhale, fold forward. Moving one breath to one movement. Inhale, press down through the feet and rise up to a standing pose, mountain. Arms up overhead. Grab hold of the right wrist and move over towards the left, side bend. Inhale back to center, switch hands, grabbing the left, side bend over towards the right. Inhale back to center, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, straight back. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose, hands overhead. Grab hold of the right wrist, bend towards the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch, grabbing the left wrist and bending over towards your right. Inhale, center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Now inhale, bend your knees and bring your hands up overhead, sitting back into chair pose. As if you're sitting into a chair behind you, gaze down over your knees. Make sure that you can see all 10 toes. We're going to take a pose called figure 4 here. Again, I'll turn towards you so you can see this. You'll pick up your right leg and place the foot across the left thigh, right above the knee. You'll feel this stretch in your hips, and then you can bring your hands to heart center. And you'll try to keep sitting down to increase the stretch that you'll feel in the left hip here. Now, if this is too much, a great modification is to come down onto your back and do the same exact thing, taking the right foot across the left, just lying down, and to increase the stretch, you'll take your hand through the hole that your legs form and grab hold of the left shin, pulling the leg in towards your body. Either way, you'll feel a great stretch in the right hip. So you can stay on the floor, or you can come to the full figure 4 position. Take one more deep inhale wherever you are, and then switch sides, lowering down the right leg. Inhale, lifting up the left and crossing the foot right above the knee over the right thigh. This time feeling a nice stretch in the right hip. You might feel it in both hips as well. Again, countering that action of sitting all day long by stretching into the hips. And you might notice that in this standing position, you'll be raising the heart rate slightly as well. An easy way to slip in a quick cardio burst. Continuing to sit down, or if you're in the modified pose, pulling the knee in towards your chest. Just one more deep inhale here. Exhale, release. Come all the way up to mountain pose and bringing your hands through heart center, fold down into a forward fold. Take a few moments to gather your breath here. And then we'll make our way down onto our bellies for a quick neck stretch. So your hands will be right underneath your shoulders. The tops of your feet are pressing firmly into the mat. And we'll just take a brief cobra pose. On your inhale, lift up your chest. But there's little to no weight in your hands. The tops of your feet are pressing down into the mat. And you're using the strength of your low back here to hold you up. Just 2 to 3 breaths in this pose. On your next exhale, release your forehead down to the mat. And bring your forearms out in front of you. And then press up onto your forearms. This is called Sphinx pose. Now, if this hurts your low back, you can always prop yourself up by bringing your palms together like this in front of you, or even bring yourself out so that your arms are parallel to the short end of your mat. Whatever you need to do to come out of your low back, as long as your head is looking up. We're going to do a brief neck stretch here. So you'll start by gazing out towards your left, and then inhale, bring your head down. Take a breath cycle here. On your next inhale, bring your head up over towards the right, and then back to center. And then we'll switch sides, gaze over towards the right. Bring the head down. Pull it back up, gazing over towards the left. And then back to center. From here, we'll come all the way down onto our belly and bring our hands out to either side of us. This is a really great shoulder stretch. So we're going to start by rolling over your right shoulder. So from your belly, with your hands out in a T position, you'll roll over the right side of your body, and you can take your knee, the left knee, and place it in front of the right leg to help stabilize you. You can rest your neck down and bring the left hand out in front of the face or the shoulder. You'll feel this in your right shoulder, and you can play around with the hand, bringing it up or down to increase or decrease the sensation you feel on the stretch here. Just a few breaths. And then we'll switch sides, rolling back over onto your stomach, bringing the hands out to a T, this time rolling over onto the left shoulder. Now you can see what the hand looks like here. So I'm resting my neck down. My left leg is behind me here to help stabilize me. And my right hand is right in front of my face. Now I can try and bring the hand up, and that changes the stretch. Or I can try and bring it down, and I'll feel less of a stretch there. But play around with it in your own body to see where you feel the most sensation. And then on your next exhale, come out of it back onto the belly. And we'll turn around onto our back for a quick Savasana. Bringing your hands out to either side, your legs out to either side. Relaxing all the muscles in your body. Closing your eyes, palms face upward, so that you can receive all the gifts of the universe, of your friends, of your family, and of your life. See if you can take a moment in silence here. For yourself. I'll leave you here. When you're ready, slowly start to bring movement back into your body. Come into a comfortable seated position and take a few moments to breathe and come back into your waking world. I wish you the best Monday, the best start to this last week of November 2012. And I will see you again soon on the mat. Namaste.